We have a Taurus PT99 fully automatic pistol, and I'm going to show you how to break it down to the frame. First thing you're going to want to do is remove the mag, put that up out of the way, and then remove your slide and set that away. We're not going to be taking that apart in this video. Next, what you will need is a flathead screwdriver, and go to the right hand side of the gun, put the gun in safe, remove the screws, first thing we're going to remove is this spring holding up your trigger bar. To do that, I just use an Allen wrench, put my finger over it, and it comes right off. And this part comes right out. And then you got this. And to take your safety off, you're going to have to turn it over and remove this side cover. You have an Allen key, not exactly sure what size it is. Put it in there, loosen it up, but be careful, you have a little ball in there that when you pull this up wants to come out. See it right there? I just use a little scrapper's magnet to grab it and just keep it on the magnet. Next, you push out your safety and then pull that completely off. Don't lose your full auto lever, and your magazine release should just pop right out. Next, you have your slide release. You lift it up and then pull slightly, and don't lose the spring that's behind it. To do this one, your slide release, you push this till it can't go all the way up, then it should just fall right out. Then this one pulls right out there. Don't worry about all this, I'll show you each part individually going back together. Now you have it down to where you can pull out your counterweight, which the Allen wrench makes a perfect tool for. You just push these two pins out and then lift the gun up and pull it out. Then this one's kind of spring loaded, so be careful when you're doing it. Once you get your counterweight out, you got a spring and a piston that goes down inside it. Be sure not to lose it. Now you can remove this pin that holds in your subframe, and then your subframe just slides right out like so. And that's how you take Taurus PT99 down to the frame. I use a liberal amount of silicone lubricant to oil everything. The first part I'm going to reinstall is your magazine hammer and the pin. To do that, you put your hammer inside that groove. When you're installing your magazine hammer, you have a little spring that goes around this post as it fits in that slot. And once that's in place, you install your pin, which only goes in one way, so if it's not going in, try putting it in from the other side. And it fits in there like so. Next step is to install your subframe into your main frame. So you're going to want to guide your trigger around in there and guide it in. Should just slip right in. Once you got your subframe back in place, you have a small, a medium, and a large diameter pin. First, you're going to want the medium pin, and that goes in the top hole right there, and that holds your subframe into place. Next piece to go in is your counterweight with your hammer spring, and I like to just shoot a thing of oil down in there to keep it from rusting and keep it lubricated. So that just goes together like spring in first, then you got your top pin that just slides in the bottom. Once you got your counterweight in there, you have the large pin in the bottom hole, and just push up till it falls in. There you go. Get it lined up. Put that one in. Right there. Now we start reassembling all the inner workings of the gun. I start with this little piece here. It goes on that pin there. Like so. Then to the safety, and this piece that attaches to the safety, it points down and goes somewhere right about there, and you got this little pin that goes in that hole, so you slide it down and line up the pin. Once you got your right side safety in, you flip the gun over. Now you got your left side safety, which consists of a ball bearing, a spring, which is in there, and your thumb piece. Thumb piece goes on there, and I can't do it with the camera, but the ball bearing lines up with them grooves there. Next, we install your trigger bar, which goes in a hole in your trigger, and your hammer back here. So something like that. And this piece goes into that groove, and this spring wraps around here like that, and then slides into that groove. Let's see if I can do it on camera. And I can. Like so. There's a little groove on the bottom of there. And that side's done. Now we can reinstall the side cover. Once you got your grip on the right side, you flip it over, and your slide release has a spring that goes in there, and it just goes in that hole. And spring just catches in there, twist down, put in. That works perfectly. Next, we're going to reinstall the breakdown pin, which is simply slide this in till it's all the way over, like that. Flip it over, put this little spring on that little knob, and then slide it in. And next, we simply reinstall our slide. Insert the mag. Ready to go. Now, I ain't got the room to shoot this thing off long range, but I know you're hoping to see me shoot it, so very beautiful full auto. Best thing about a 30 round magazine. Now I figure I'd just do a little review of the Taurus. It's overall a nice gun. I've never had any real big issues with it other than a small crack in the frame back in here, but it really don't affect firing of the gun. As you can see, it still goes off perfectly, but I tried JB welding it, but it broke putting it back together, so I just used some of the footage from, I was gonna do that until it broke, but oh well, fires just fine. Full auto, and it runs out of gas. So that's my basic review of it. It's a good gun. I've used it in combat, and it will not ring someone's bell from about 20 feet away. Very good.